Perfect timing. Hi!
I'm in it, yep.
Welcome to Decisive Podcast number 11. Okay, we are Rob and Kieran. He is Rob, and I am Kieran. He is the Iron Maiden to my Metallica.
And
Good.
you are the Mike M to another really faggy band, like A Day to Remember?
Wow. I mean, I'll rob you, Mike, and that's fine.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure you'd rob the Iron Maiden.
I am.
This has worked out well.
Yep.
On today's delayed podcast, we have the first topic from a couple of weeks back that was meant to happen, the brief history of nu metal.
Basically a topic that originated because I work with some very, very unknowledgeable people, to put it in the nicest way possible. And so yeah, this is to them. None of them will probably watch, but we're going to answer the question anyway because...
Why not? It's a topic. And we also have some Architects information. Following on from that, we'll have our review that was meant to be last week, and that is the best and worst covers, including the subtopic of is it respectful or not to have covers, or to do covers, should I say? Wow.
We will confer.
Starting off with the news. This week's news. Today, Bullet for My Valentine just announced a new album, Gravity. On June 29th, I believe it's going to be released. They had their first song played on Dan Carter's show
they've
today.
Released something already.
Yeah, they've played it on the radio. I don't think they'll probably release it tonight or something. I think it's called Stop It, Stop Me, Don't Stop.
Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We're Bullet for My Valentine. We're angry, man. Shut it. Anywho, now they've released the album artwork. Kind of looks like a bit of a ravey album, a bit weird.
Yeah, fucking trippy arse butterfly effect thing. Cool, why not?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, there's a hand. Look at that.
Butterflies do gravity quite a bit. And they defy it.
Yeah. I guess so. The flappity wings. And basically, let's move that out of the way. They've changed the layout for me. It's over there.
What the fucking...
So, they seem to have named, this may sound like deja vu to you, they've named their album Gravity. Now, maybe there's a good reason behind that, but they've got the V and the I as the number 6 in Roman numerals.
Following on from the V.
For Venom. So, what's going to be next? Virgin, I guess? We'd use the V, the I, and the letter for the R. I mean...
I wondered where you were going to go with that. I was like, look, there's no words that have two eyes.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
Maybe
there's lots of virgins that have two eyes.
They usually do. Males have 3 eyes. Anyway, maybe they could use virgin. They could be like keeping the tradition of Wales with lost prophets. They're all both like virgins. Moving swiftly on. And other news is, this is quite old now, but Lamb of God have reunited as Burn
Like
the Priest, and they are going to be releasing a covers album. Funnily enough, this leads to the topic later on.
Yeah,
a covers album by Lamb of God under the name of Burn the Priest. Interesting stuff.
Very much so.
And how's their vocal type going to be? Is it all going to be metal songs?
Pretty much exactly the first thing that I thought of is are they going to like sort of make all of these covers kind of their own thing and do it their way, or are they going to expand out into?
I mean, they can cover Shania Twain. That'd be great. I mean, if Randy Bly going Man I Feel Like a Woman would sell me an album.
If there's a video with it, definitely.
Yes. Him in the same little hat.
Brilliant.
I felt like a woman.
That should be good.
So,
I'm
yeah.
kind of looking forward to that.
I'm interested.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, that is the news today. Get a little jingle. God, it's a very exciting episode. So, Mr. Robert, a history of nu metal. Introduce us, please, sir.
So, like I said, they're actually old colleagues that I no longer work with. But yes, we were on a night out and we got talking about it, and the question basically was posed to me, so what exactly is nu metal? And it's kind of one of those ambiguous questions that you feel like you want to just be able to answer with like, oh, you know this band? Oh yeah, okay, well, that kind of sound. And then that got me thinking, like, is it the sound? Is it what brought the origins of nu metal together, what crafted nu metal, or is it something that we sort of associate with like a certain kind of sound nowadays? So that was what I started thinking about, and then I never actually did answer their question. I just kind of walked away.
Right, but it brought you to...
It brought me here. It brought me
Yeah.
here. So I started doing a little bit of digging around, and so frequently, as you might imagine, Korn are quite often attributed as the birth of nu metal.
The birth of new... Okay,
birth
they're
of nu
definitely
metal, that's-
contributed as one of the biggest.
I agree, and definitely like a front runner, a pioneer. But that got me thinking straight away, because I thought, well, bands had experimented with like rap sounds and like, you know, like soundboards and stuff over more metal and rock themed stuff.
Okay.
I mean, Aerosmith had done it before them, I'm sure.
I don't know is the answer to that, but something I've
Run
never
DMC
even...
and Aerosmith.
Oh, of course, yes.
That's got to have been, what, 80s?
But
I
that
don't know.
feels-
I'm sorry if this is like a bad education on...
That's more of a collaboration of two genres.
It is, very much so. But then, so, if I pose the question to you, what kind of band is Anthrax? Just as like a general, what kind of
Thrash.
genre? Thrash.
Metal.
So they are a metal band,
Okay.
right? They have also done
You wouldn't put them in
collaborations.
Yeah.
And they had done those way before Korn were even surfaced. So
Right, okay.
is it fair then to say that we could look at even as far back as that as kind of when people started getting the idea, like, I wonder if we could make a band based on that?
Interesting.
Because it's not just the rap vocals, but that's like a heavy part in it. Like I said, I did a fair bit of reading about it, and that seems to be one of the things that people attribute to the genre of nu metal, is rap vocals over kind of metal.
Interesting.
Do we agree with that?
Well, that's where it probably started them off, but it pinpointed to the first kind of...
Not even that, but do we agree that like rap over metal is a defining category of nu metal? Is that like part of what builds it? Because to
Yes,
me,
those are the basic foundations of it, yeah.
okay, because I kind of asked myself that when I was reading, and so many different places on the net would say like, oh yeah, well, it started off with a few bands like sort of doing rap over rock and stuff, and I thought, well, yeah, okay, that still exists today, but that's not what when somebody says, oh, they're a nu metal band, I expect them to sound a certain way, and it doesn't always need to have rap.
Okay, granted, so you look at bands like Hacktivist, I would not class them as nu metal.
But a lot of other bands would, and the fact that they've played shows with like Limp Bizkit
And Korn, yeah.
kind of, I don't know, it to some sort of people that don't spend a week or so thinking about nu metal.
Yeah, when you don't analyse it properly, I guess.
Maybe, yeah, and that's the thing.
But I definitely, myself, wouldn't class them.
Me either. But what are they then?
See, the thing is with Hacktivist, I've been asked this and I've actually thought about this before, I can't define them to a genre. Hacktivist are Hacktivist. There's no one like them.
Interesting.
I mean, you could say rap gent, but that sounds like a terrible genre as a whole.
Rent.
Rent, yes. or Jap.
Jap. So that kind of got me thinking, like, you know, the birthplace of it all kind of seems to like live and die with Korn, but I disagree personally. I feel like the very origin should be kind of what inspired bands that we attribute.
I agree. Now, my follow-up question to that, which would have been my first question until you actually went into that, which I'm glad you did, is why do you think nu metal started? My reasoning for nu metal starting is back in the late 90s. That's when things in rock and metal were dying out. Not dying out entirely, rock never dies, but it was going through a shitty period.
Essentially, yeah.
And we needed something new.
Yeah.
No pun intended. We needed something new that was different, that could reignite a spark in our inspiration.
Absolutely. Which kind of then begs the question, because when you think back to the kind of bands that were being listened to a lot back in, so this is kind of like 90s, we've entered the 90s kind of area now.
Yeah.
All of the bands that were being listened to back then, like heavily, were obviously Nirvana, kind of grunge-based stuff, which is kind of really far away from any of this.
Extremely. You wouldn't see Pearl Jam or Nirvana ever collaborating with rap, I don't think.
But I know so many people that would have said, like, oh yeah, I've been to loads of Pearl Jam gigs back in the day. If they're like an older sort of generation,
Yeah.
they would have said, like, oh, I've been to loads of Pearl Jam gigs back in the day. And you would meet these people at like a Metallica show or something. So they like the rock, they like the metal. Where does nu metal kind of fit in with all of that? Because I don't really find that I have many people that sort of would have been finding their musical feet in the 90s when nu metal was like a thing,
yeah.
to still really be into it.
No, but that's because we're getting onto this more towards the end of the topic. But nu metal lived its life,
Interesting. Okay.
and I feel like the fans that grew with it also learnt to die with it.
To some degree, but then as we experienced on Friday night, fucking sick party by the way,
Thanks, Jake Moore.
some people still really fucking rave for Rage, for example. And again, I don't necessarily agree. I wouldn't know what to categorise them as, but a lot of people, I looked up loads of different kind of lists, like different sources for, like top 10 nu metal bands
Yes,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, and then like cross compared them all to see which ones sort of flagged up the most, and Rage was one of them. I mean,
Yeah.
nu metal, would you? It seems a bit heavy-handed.
I don't think they
for
even
it.
popped up on my lists that I found. Now, Rage Against the Machine nu metal.
This is what I mean. There's a few in there that were like, yep, straight up, definitely agree. And then there were some that I'm like, I guess some of their songs could
They
be,
didn't.
but not. And yeah, and then there were bands like Rage that I was like, well, I wouldn't have ever put them in that category, really. I'm not sure what I would, therefore. They're another kind of hacktivist, but not that I like to say that they're in a league of their own, because they're not. I like Rage, I don't really have anything too mad against them like you, but yeah, I don't rave about them.
That's fair. I'm going to quickly jump back a second to influences, because I wrote down a few which I've just
Yes,
noticed.
go for it, because I did too. So.
So influences to the genre as a whole. Mm-hmm. The first band I want to mention, and I may be totally wrong on timing, so correct me if I'm wrong, and that's Cypress Hill. I feel like they could have influenced a lot, but I'm not sure if they were even around then. Run DMC, of course.
I believe Cypress Hill might have really cropped up mostly in the mid to late 90s, but I will double check that, because that's a
Right,
very
yeah.
good point.
Run DMC, as mentioned before, so I won't go into that. But the main one that came to mind before I even thought anyone else has an influence for it is Beastie Boys.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So obviously a lot of people would sort of stray away from sort of saying that they're nu metal, and they're not, because they're not metal, but they are a very strong influence of what it's like to be in a band that raps.
Yeah, I feel like young Jonathan Davis and all that lot really thought,
Probably did
this
listen
is
to a
what
lot.
sounds good. I like this, but I also like metal. I want to combine the two. Let's try and do this.
Yeah, 100%. So other earlier influences that I noted down, Seven Dust. Let's have a look for older ones. So yeah, Rage were an older one. Deftones were actually quite an older one as well, to be fair. They're not... it's not necessarily fair to say that they were right at the beginning, but they were... I'm pretty sure they were doing the stuff before Korn were actually out there as a band, but they just weren't very
Really?
well known.
Okay.
I'll double check all of this, but I vaguely remember reading somewhere, and it might have just been a comment on one of the pages of lists that I was looking at, where somebody actually said well, technically Deftones released a little fucking EP type thing
Right.
in the year before Korn released their first efforts or something like that. So again, worth reading into, but they're definitely up there as, if we're just going to sort of generalise the beginning of nu metal, they're definitely down as a band that started up in that sort of time. Like I said, Anthrax were doing some stuff at the time. You've already mentioned Run DMC. And then it's sort of, like we said, sort of pushes into the mid to late 90s a little bit more. So did you write down any bands from that sort of era? And we'll talk about a couple of the more sort of standout ones.
Pretty much. I'll read out my full list,
Yeah,
and they
go for
all
it.
basically started at the same time.
Okay.
And these are the pioneers. Some of these are pioneers, some of these are not.
Okay.
So, from the bottom upwards, how I wrote it is in no particular order of how big they were. We'll get into that afterwards. Deftones, Papa Roach,
Yep.
System of a Down. I did put a question mark. I wasn't sure if you really classed that, but in a way,
I wouldn't, because I left them off the list on purpose. But
Yeah, I
they are
wasn't
down
sure.
on a few. They are down on a few. So.
From Decide the Podcast fame, Static X,
Yes.
Saliva,
Yes.
Incubus question mark.
I don't agree myself.
We'll get onto them as well, I think. Crazy Town,
To a degree. Not metal, but again, for the same sort of
definitely
reasons.
new metal.
Crazy Town.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Butterfly, that song, which we'll get into very
That
shortly
is,
as well.
yeah, because that's a fucking tune.
That is funny you say that, because it's fucking not.
It is.
It's a diabolical
old school.
song.
It's old school.
POD, Korn, Machine Head, not as a band. They had a moment. We'll get into them again soon.
Yes.
Slipknot, question mark. We'll get definitely onto that question mark soon as well. Yes. And then the two that should be obvious to anyone, which is Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit.
Yep, 100%. Other ones that I had on there that you missed out were Shovel, Mudvayne, Dope, which are another band very similar to POD, if you've ever listened to any POD.
Dope, didn't they do Die Motherfucker Die?
Yes. But they've also done other songs that are a bit more like showcasey of what we're talking about.
Right, wasn't aware. I've only heard Die Motherfucker Die and Let's Fuck.
I'll link you. I'll link you in a song called Now Is the Time.
Okay.
I'll send that to you after this because that's very much a bit more like that. So 12 Stones, Evanescence is one that I had a question mark next. They came up on a lot of lists.
They came up on a lot of lists. I absolutely marked them off as soon as I saw them.
Yeah.
Do not see it.
Don't agree with that.
If you're watching and you know what we're talking about, Evanescence, new metal? Question mark.
But we will get onto the topic of Amy Lee next week. No, tomorrow. Technically next week.
Yes, we will.
More on that later on. I'm really excited. Trapped. We're another one. Spineshank, a very similar sort of band to Static X.
Trapped. What was their biggest song of all time? Everyone knows it. Headstrong.
Fuck no.
Headstrong. Everyone knows Headstrong.
Fear Factory. Alien Ant Farm.
Fear Factory crossed my mind, but no, they didn't. That's the covers. Never mind. Ignore that.
Okay. Interesting. We'll get onto that. But yeah, Alien Ant Farm and Nonpoint as well were just some other ones.
Okay.
And they, like you, I 100% agree with what you were saying. Very similar sort of origins at very similar sort of times. Very similar sounds, some of them. So it seems that was kind of like it's...
I love how it's giving you notifications during the podcast. It's very helpful.
Yeah,
about the podcast that we are currently doing.
I don't like this...
It's a new setup and we're not used to it.
No.
All our setups have abandoned us.
Oh! So then we move on to in recent years.
Recent years?
Yeah, what kind of
So you're
bands?
talking in the 2010s?
2000s onwards, yeah, because I know some of these bands were obviously still... But we're talking about bands that like kind of hit their stride after 2000. Because Korn and stuff were already doing it, Linkin Park were already doing it.
In that... I couldn't name you anyone off the top of my head. Unless
I
they were
can.
on the list that I already just gave you.
So,
No.
couple. I did put down Hacktivist, just
Did
as
you?
a notable thing to talk about, and I wondered if
Interesting.
we were going to bring them up in the news or not, or whether we were allowed to. I suppose, yeah, because...
Not yet, 'cause it's not official.
Yes, it is.
Well, he said yes, but we haven't
It is. I've seen posts already.
posted about what? Our news? Oh, no! No. Right.
I would never deprive you of our news. You worked fucking hard to secure that news.
Yeah, Timothy James has left Hacktivist, or he's
Yeah.
leaving Hacktivist in his last... Sorry, we'll go back to the news quickly. He's leaving Hacktivist with his last 3 gigs, being in May, April and June, in not that order, funny enough. May is Milton Keynes, June is Camden Rocks, and I believe April is Switzerland. I don't know.
Fairs.
Yes.
But yeah, that's kind of sucky.
Definitely go to the Milton Keynes show, by the way, you should.
So in recent years, Hacktivist. Hollywood Undead.
No, I wouldn't class them as new metal.
No.
I think new metal died its death before Hollywood Undead were a thing.
Okay. So that does beg the question, what would you categorise them as? Shit is not an answer.
No, I like them.
Huh?
I like them.
Huh.
They got some really good songs. How to class Hollywood Undead? Just rap, rock? Yes, I've never really tried to class them. I'm not going to go with their own thing, because I'm going to do that for every single fucking band that has rap in it.
Do you notice, though, that there is a bit of a recurring theme here?
What?
That every band that you could kind of maybe say in later years was perhaps born, at least, through nu metal, we can't actually define a genre for.
Yes. 2 out of 2 so far. I'm not denying that... who was the other one? Evanescence?
No. We had Hacktivist,
Yeah.
Rage Against the Machine.
Oh,
and
Rage, yeah. But
Hollywood Undead.
Rage are much older than the rest of them.
Oh yeah, of course, but they're 3 that we can't
No.
really name a genre for because they don't fit into this, they don't fit into metal, so what the fuck are they?
I mean, going back when you're saying...
Is this new metal?
new metal.
origin metal?
I have no doubt that Hollow Dead and Hacktivist were definitely influenced by new metal, but they're not new metal.
Okay, interesting. Kid Rock, as you mentioned, but not metal.
I didn't mention Kid Rock, but fucking God, I hate him.
I thought you
no.
did. Okay. But yeah, fucking...
I'm American Badass! No, you're not.
36 Crazy Fists.
Class of new metal?
Some and some. I think a lot of their sound is sort of more strictly metal, but they do have some songs. So that kind of brings us relatively to the end of the topic, and I kind of, whilst sort of trying to plan out a bit of a structure for it, I thought, well, okay, so we've gone through like the years a little bit, and we've spoken about some bands. I mean, we said about speaking about a few more. Slipknot, for example, you had a massive question mark.
Yeah, I've got question marks by a few. So although we're approaching the end of the topic in terms of the timeline, there's still a fair bit to talk about. I'll get onto the best bands that we consider.
Yeah.
But first of all, we need to discuss, in my opinion, the atrocity of Butterfly.
Okay.
So this song is horrific. It's really bad.
I to be fair, Logic agrees with you.
Right, good. I like
It's
Logic.
nostalgia that doesn't, and I just can't.
Okay,
shake
if
that.
you got a thing for the songs, I never did. I never really got it.
I don't even know where it comes from, to be honest with you. I don't, but it was just a song that was always on around me growing up, and whenever I hear it, I'm just like, hey, I'm a butterfly, sugar baby, all the time.
That grates on my skin. That's fair though. Now, Slipknot as a whole.
So your question mark?
Were they ever new metal?
Yes, I agree 100% that they were.
They were. When did that stop? What album? So you've got self-titled in Iowa.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people cut it off.
Yeah. But to some degree, even after just self-titled, for me.
You class self-titled as new metal. See, that's what shocks me.
Why?
Even Volume 3 shocks me as new metal. Because there's no rap. It's almost no rap.
I was going to say, there is, though.
But it's not rap. It's just...
And how much rap is there in Iowa?
Not much. That's why I don't think it's new metal.
Okay. There's definitely a fair chunk in... I'm really bad with the actual song listing on the self-titled album, but there's...
Sing for us, Rob. Sing.
No. But there is... I'll dig the songs out. I'll go through the self-titled album, I'll dig the songs out of it, and I'll send them over to you, and I'll even tell you what point during the song that the rap starts.
It's just... With new metal, you said before, it has a specific sound to it.
And I think they hit that.
You think they hit that?
I do.
I don't.
Older stuff.
I don't ever envisage screaming in new metal.
See,
no other band did it.
Remember when we were talking about Slipknot? When it was either one of the episodes that they've come up afterwards, or while we were reviewing the album. One of the albums. All Hope Is Gone. Mm-hmm. And I said to you, there's something about that album that seems like it was a transition kind of thing, that they were like in their peak form for All Hope Is Gone, and they went from being like a really kind of not sloppy, but like not everything has to be perfect, to quite a precise kind of sounding band. And I think that was kind of where the transition like really made its effect for me. Like if you listen to the self-titled and then listen to All Hope Is Gone, there's a clear difference between the two, and I would say that if you had to pick one of those, which was going to be new metal, which one would it be?
You got Volume 3 in between.
Yeah, but we're ignoring that.
You're ignoring. Okay, so in that 4 or 5 year gap, one's new metal, one's not. You asked me to vote.
Which one would you say if you had to say one of them was new metal, or which one sounds more new metal than the other? So it's like categorized. We have like a definitive one has to be more new metal than the other. Which one would you say?
Iowa.
Out of the two that I chose.
You said Iowa and...
No, I said the self-titled.
Oh, so the first album?
Yeah.
Right, so that's like a good 7 years difference.
Yeah.
Right, self-titled.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's like me saying, what's more new metal out of Nightmare and Hell's the King? Well, Nightmare, because it's got more speedier vocals, but it's not anything to do with new metal.
But I think that it's... How can you say that that's not new metal? That's like, it has the rap, it has the
way
sound to it, it
I see...
has the trippiness to it, it's like...
But does it really have that much trippiness to it? Also, does it really... what are we defining as rap? Because screaming is not rap.
No, it's not, but like it can be like rap that's screamed, 100%. Rap is like vocals that are fast,
But
choppy.
why is rap just vocals that are fast and choppy? Why isn't rap vocals that are fast, choppy, and soft? How did you come to that cut? And why have you come to that cut?
What? That some of his vocals are rapped?
No, but what you're saying that it's rap because it's fast and choppy.
Not all of it, obviously, but like...
No. So some of it's rap because it's fast and choppy.
Yeah.
Right? But why doesn't Scream take that away from rap?
Because
no other rappers scream.
Well, that's
So why is it still rap? But why is it still rap if he screams it? So you've decided that you think rap is fast and choppy.
Okay, so-
I've decided I think rap is fast, choppy, and soft.
Okay. So, what's a really like fast rap song that you know?
Eminem,
Rap God.
That's the exact name. Okay, Rap God.
Rap God, right? So you imagine that song, really choppy, really fast. That is definitely rap.
Absolutely.
If somebody could do that, but growling at the same time. So if they were doing like, I've got a laptop in my back pocket, made a killing and a living off it, but in a screamy, growly voice, you wouldn't say, "Oh, well, that's not rapping anymore" because you're screaming it.
But it's taking away from the rap vibe of it.
No, it's not.
Rap's not just a speed. Rap's the whole genre. Rap is how it's been delivered to us all these years.
Yeah, and there's nothing in any book anywhere that says that you have to deliver that through a softly spoken voice.
Okay, but then you can say Alter Bridge is fucking R&B because they sing softly. Now you're crossing the lines between two completely different genres.
Technically, in some ways, some of their songs probably are, because R&B stands for rhythm and fucking blues.
Yeah, but it still comes across as something completely different. You wouldn't go buy fucking Nelly's fucking album. I'm not sure if he's R&B. And then
do you know what? If he did a fucking Screamo album, maybe just to see what the hell the little devil's up to. Like,
but we'll move on from this.
we'll
but
move
I
on
don't.
from this because we've
I
gone
don't
too
see.
far.
I don't see Slipknot as a new metal band.
Which is fair
confuses
enough.
me.
Maybe we should have just led with that.
I don't know how it's classed that way. But anyway, watchers, do you think Slipknot
Would you agree that Slipknot is a new metal band?
was at least
Yeah, because I agree. Was definitely not anymore. Fucking Grey Chapter can suck a dick.
So that's the repeated topic so far.
And that's pretty much all of the question
To
marks.
finish off with this topic, who would you say are the big four? So you know how with thrash you've got Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax. Who would you say are the big four of new metal?
Linkin Park.
They're definitely the top ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Closely followed. They were. Alright, Amy. Fair enough. Closely. So for me, it's Linkin Park. It's Limp Bizkit, then Korn. Korn have done so much more than Limp Bizkit, but for that era and that pioneering sound, Limp Bizkit played more of a part.
Mainstream. More mainstream for sure. Well,
And I wouldn't know who I'd put as number 4. I'm guessing if they're... Oh, this is so really hypocritical. If they're classed as new metal, then it would be Slipknot. Because of how big they were. But seeing as they're a metal band and not entirely related to
well, then you better pick a
whatsoever.
fucking other one, eh? God,
System.
but we
Maybe Papa Roach, actually.
Okay. For me, obviously, I'm arguing that Slipknot are. So for me, it was definitely going to be. You're exactly right. I struggled with Korn and Limp Bizkit, which way I'd get those around, but I did settle with Linkin Park, probably just because they're the most they're the ones with the largest longevity.
They're the kings of it.
They are, yeah.
And they just sounded the best.
And second would probably have to be Korn for the sound factor, like what everyone comes to expect from new metal.
Okay.
Very closely followed by Limp Bizkit and then Slipknot, because Slipknot have evaporated into a much stricter metal band over the years.
Right.
So there we have it. Now, one thing that I did want to ask, just to round this topic up properly,
Yeah, excellent.
is: do we think there is a future for new metal?
Not enclosed.
I do.
No.
I do.
I don't... I can see another...
I can see more
Grey-
Hollywood undead bands.
Yeah, as much as I like them, I hope not, but that's because my tastes aren't to that anymore.
What were you going to say?
I don't think there'll be another new metal, like, but there could be a genre that builds up. If there's another grey area in metal and it dies down like it did in the mid-90s or so, I can see something else forming that includes aspects of rap or things like that, but I think it will also be a completely different vibe. It won't be the synthiness. I can see rap, like more hacktivists going around.
Yeah.
More rap on like hardcore gent.
100% what I put. I think there's a future for rapping over metal and rock. However, new metal as we know it, as a sound and as the sort of thing that we've come to sort of define it by. It's kind of lived and died already.
Yeah.
So that is that. Like I said, I'm pretty sure none of the people that actually asked this question are ever going to watch this, but hey ho.
Now you know. Amy knows.
Spread the word.
She may have learned something today. So next up, Architects news and information. So, a couple of weeks back we were planning to review All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us, and we are about to do that just in a moment. But you may have seen me post this morning about, because we were meant to do the podcast last night, and because of something that happened, we couldn't do it last night, so we're doing it today instead. Now, what I told you was that we have an interview set up with Sam Carter of Architects. We fucking fooled you, motherfuckers. April Fools. There is no interview with Sam Carter, and you all fell for it, apart from Perry. Well done. But even more importantly,
however,
I thought I'd post it on the Twitter, which has like 12 fucking followers. I tagged him in. Sam Carter and Architects, and Sam Carter.
I atted Sam Carter. I atted my dad.
I atted Sam Carter, and he responded out of the fucking blue. Could not believe it, and he said that wasn't me. Very strange. And then I replied saying, "Oh, you should play along with it," like joking around, and we got him. He even said, "You got me." So that worked out 10 times better than I thought it would.
Yeah. We don't really care about fooling you guys anymore.
We fooled him,
yeah.
The guy from Architects, which we're about to review. But yeah, we don't at all apologise for fooling you. So, All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us. All Our Gods have fooled us.
So, one of the beautiful things about us being really fucking inconsistent with our timing on this podcast is that we have had 2 weeks to listen to this album now.
Yes.
And I have listened to it a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot, a lot, a lot.
So give you some background before we start, or Rob goes any further, just in case he was about to start. I knew 3 songs by Architects before this. I've been pretty much obsessed with Doomsday recently, but never too keen on their old stuff to listen to further. My mate Jermaine showed, I was meant to message him before it started, shit. My mate Jermaine, he showed me Broken Cross from the album that's black, that doesn't help anyone here, and Gone with the Wind from this album. And I've enjoyed all 3. As each album goes along, you know, Doomsday's not an album, they seem to get better, but I've never really bothered. Whereas with Rob, you've got all the albums but this one so far, haven't you?
No, I stopped a couple ago, but I have been a fan since Hollow Crown, so...
Hollow Crown, that sounds familiar. That might be the black album.
That is the black album with the green A around it, because there is a black with a white.
I think black or white, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So, we are going to review that now, and it's going to be exciting stuff. So have you got a track by track? Just to check?
I think I've got all of them down.
Excellent. Please, fire away.
So, Nihilist. Straight away. Bang.
In your fucking face.
Sick.
Like, so good.
Why don't you just whip your dick out and slap it on my forehead a few times, because, mate.
Yep.
Moving into Death Wish.
Death Wish, one of the best tracks on the album.
Yes.
It really surprised me. I thought, yeah, like I say, with Nihilist, I was like, okay, I can get into this, but it's probably not going to be my thing the whole way through.
I expected you to be a bit like, straight away, because
Death
of
Wish,
this,
that chorus, fucking, like, it's been in my head all day today.
Excellent.
And a lot of days. Really enjoyed Death Wish.
Excellent. I just put down, yeah, really good. Fucking still stoking me. Yeah, sick. Phantom Fear.
It was the first track that didn't really make me go, oh, that's amazing. It's kind of like,
100%.
Fair enough.
Well, something tells me we're going to have a very similar sort of thing. So I put it was okay. And then... So yeah, put down that was okay. And that I'd kind of, I don't know, not lost faith in it already at this kind of point, but I was like, oh no, come on, we can't start having weak ones this early on, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Downfall.
I thought that was, that's right, yes. I gave that a middle line, so I was like, yeah, it's pretty good, it's up there, but it's not the top 5.
Interesting. For me, given that I know some, obviously, like prior Architect stuff, well, got a fair bit, for me, that was the first song on the album that I was waiting for, kind of thing.
Oh, this was your jam, was it?
Yeah, this was straight away, this was like, yep, okay, this is good, this is how I like it, this is Architects. So yeah, I fucking love that. Gone with the Wind.
Fucking brilliant track.
It is, man. Diverse as fuck. It's brilliant, mate.
This I don't usually like this with bands, but bands that add like this synthy thing. So at the beginning of Gone with the Wind, it's just like a and I was like, that little dun noise makes the track that much better. It's such a simple effect, but and then in fact it's going straight into pretty fucking brutal drums and guitar.
It's just straight up. It's a fucking I love it. And it's just like I said, shows diversity in the album as well. It's kind of like just nice even splice of amazingness in many different directions. And then we go into Empty Hourglass.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a half line. It's along the same line of Downfall with me.
Yeah, pretty much the same sort of opinion. Kind of put like cool, nothing jumping out at me massively, and it's kind of at this point in the album I'm starting to get a bit like a lot of this is not samey as such, but it's kind of like it's all kind of hitting the same punches in the same place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Arguable to say. Match Made in Heaven.
Nah.
No.
Down with Phantom Fear.
Yeah. I did put I thought it was alright the first few times I listened to it, and then I've come back and since written possibly towards the top, and then come back and put actually the more I listen to it, it's not really doing it for me.
No, so I spammed this album in full quite a few times, and then since then I've been listening to certain tracks in the car, and that's not one of them.
Fair enough. So you've got like a good gauge of how you're going to sort of rate this because of the ones that have bled through.
Well, I had a rating set. I usually fuck up my rating every week. I have between 1 and 2. We're not going into the actual what the rating is yet. I had one set. I've now been listening to these certain 5 tracks.
And it has changed your rating.
I'm stuck again.
Oh.
I don't even know the answer now.
Damn. Okay, so moving on. Gravity.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it.
See, I kind of put meh at this point because it's the whole kind of like, come on.
I've got a full line under that. Or was that a scribble? It's a scribble. It's a half line. So it's with Downfall and Empty Hourglass. Although I think Empty Hourglass up there more than out of the 3 of the middles. Empty Hourglass.
So that's like your
higher one.
Yeah, your top middle.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Cool. So All Love Is Lost.
Bruh.
Yeah. Album gets a bit grayer, to be honest. It's a bit like it's starting to drag down a little bit for me. From the Wilderness.
Until From the Wilderness.
Okay, so I'm sensing a top from you.
Not the top song.
Oh damn!
I don't know what the top song is. Let's go for this one first. So in case you're not aware of who Architects are, they have had a shit couple of years.
Yes.
So the guitarist, who I may have misquoted as the drummer before, and I'm very sorry for that, on a previous podcast, the guitarist Tom Searle passed away recently. Good man, yes, Duffy. Spelled my name wrong, but I'll take that. So Tom Searle, he was the brother of the drummer, who is Dan Searle, and the guitarist, he had cancer, and he died in the last year or so, I believe. Since this album came out, which once I go into the next track, I'll explain more of that. But these 2 tracks coming up, they both have a bit of spoken word in them. Now, I don't usually do that.
It's deep set though, isn't it? It's
important. And I think
man,
this is part of the reason I love the album so much. So I'll kind of spread onto those things a bit more. But From the Wilderness involves a little track. So Architects are known, from what I've found out since I started listening to them, and that is they're a bit political at times. It's fair to say, I think.
Yeah.
This quote, I can't quote it exactly, but it says along the lines of a philosopher of the name of Unknown once said that nothing grows in the body
past a
certain age except from cancer, which Nils and Oz completely destroyed on my fucking on my post of that. But
I mean, it is kind of true though. Your nose and your ears don't.
That's on the outside, but on the inside of your body.
Okay.
But then they said cysts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but regardless of that,
it's one of those kind of like, aww.
God damn it!
I was
making a good post, man. Yeah, that little bit in the middle, and it kicks back in.
It's heavy shit.
It's so heavy.
For me, at this point of the album, it was very hot and cold, and then this happened, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Memento Mori.
I really fucking like it. I actually really like it a lot.
This song, Memento Mori, is the closer of the album, and I want to tell you quickly my emotions of the album, of the song. Not emotions like sadness and stuff like that, but how I felt about the song. When I first listened to it, I even wrote here. So if we did the podcast last week, I think the review would have been different to how it is now.
Interesting.
So this is my original thought on Memento Mori. There's an intro part. It's like for like a good. What the first one I listened to it felt like a fucking minute.
I mean, it is long.
Yeah, it feels really long. But I think it's only like 30 seconds till the first vocals come in. And I wrote that the intro grates after a while.
Yep.
And I really was not keen.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool.
How many listens did it take for you to start shifting this opinion? Because I want to see if it's the same for me.
At least 5.
Really? Okay, not quite. It was about the third time around for me, and I was like, actually, this stands out a lot more.
Maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe it is 3. It's 3 to 5.
Yeah.
And then we'll get more into the intricacies of the track in a moment. It's now fighting Gone with the Wind for my favourite song on the album. And I would... Any band, this is not just Architects, any band, I may even consider it for best closing of an album of all time. I love it. That last Memento Mori...
so what, this would beat any outro to an Avenged album?
It's fighting it.
What the fuck?
I don't know if it's just I'm hyped on the song right now.
I'm shocked.
The intricacy of the song. So
I'm fucking shocked.
I know, I bet a lot of people are. The intro to the song, I got used to it. It starts off with soft, Sam Carter's soft vocals, gets heavy as you go along, it gets really fucking heavy, and then there's this clock ticking.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's like 5, and then it was fucking insanity. And I was like, okay, why didn't I get into this band a little bit earlier? I'm gonna listen to some more tracks, and then where it slowly dies down, and that guy speaks again. He's like, change. It's all about change. Memento Mori. I'm gonna fuck up this a bit now, aren't I? Memento Mori. Be mindful of death, and then cut. I was like, yeah, okay, that was perfect.
If I was rating, shit. They do know.
If I was rating this on that song, it's a 10 out of 10. I fucking like. Now I'm talking about it, I think it might be Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, it sounds like it should do,
because it's fucking great. I'm not going so crazy about Gone with the Wind now because I've heard it a while. But this song is number 1 on the album.
We are going to have a very drastically different outcome because I got to the end of that and the song grew on me and I really did start to like it, and I agree it is a really good outro. I didn't actually think about it in relation to like, is it one of the best outros? So I didn't get that far. I started like assessing the album as a whole. And for me, there were quite a few points, even like the few times round after listening to it. And I gave this album more of a fair shot than any other. But there are parts of it that just fell for me, just fell on its face a little bit, where it's just a bit like, I could do with a little bit more diversity or just like just something, just a little bit else. But the amount of times that I found myself feeling like that during the album dragged the rating down for me. So I think that we're going to have very drastically different ratings.
Yeah, I'm trying not to let my talk about Memento Mori just then affect it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because it's trying to jump up. But yeah, finishing off with the overall thing of what I mentioned before. So it's weird. So we've got Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold. Mm-hmm. We've got The Grey Chapter by Slipknot. Albums that were a tribute to a band member that's died. This was a band member that was dying. And that really kind of went into my head a lot more.
Especially seeing as the world didn't know about it at that point.
The world didn't know about it. So I was talking to my mate, so don't quote me, but I'm quoting him, and he's a big Architects fan. I say my mate, someone that works with Lewis. But if he's wrong, then it's him, not me. This was all written and released because Tom went back into remission for cancer. So it looked like it was all clear. He went back into remission from cancer, and that's when all this shit happened. And they wrote this, and he died afterwards. So it's really weird to have a tribute album where he's playing on it, and the feelings are fucking real, but they're not, haven't experienced death. They're experienced going through it, and it's a whole different vibe. And that's why it's the spoken parts in Memento Mori and From the Wilderness.
They do stand out.
They hit you like fuck. I actually listened to the whole speech by the guy, because I forgot to fucking write his name down, but there's a philosophist that did this Memento Mori speech. And yeah, I find it really interesting. The only thing I wrote when I first started listening to it, I'll go back on that quickly, is actually a bad point about Sam. Sorry, bro, that we tweeted you earlier and now I'm insulting you. But I've actually learned to like it a lot. And that's, at first, his vocals really started to grate on me. Because he sounded like he was really straining.
Yeah.
at times, and I was like, are you doing that intentionally? Like, I'm not
He's
sort
had
of
a
thing.
lot of trouble with his vocal cords over the years. If you go back and listen to Hollow Crown,
Right, okay.
they're still like quite similar in a lot of places, but he can do like more sort of like impactful heavy vocals, whereas now it does, you're right, it sounds like a strain. It sounds like he's really having to like to get it out kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, so yeah, it does.
But I've kind of grown to love it. Well, to like it, not love it. I've grown
It's
to
individual,
like it.
isn't it? It's kind of individual.
It is
to them.
individual.
It's part of their sound.
I think if I went and listened to the whole album again and again, like I did the first week we did this, maybe it would start grating again. But now that I'm listening to the 5 songs, if you don't remember, if you didn't see what the 5 songs were, they're Nihilist, Death Wish, Gone with the Wind, From the Wilderness, and Memento Mori. Those are the 5 songs that top the album for me.
Sick.
And yeah, that's that really.
So, overall rating. I'm gonna let you go first.
It's a tough one. I'm sticking with 7,
Interesting.
not 8.
Not drastically different after all. I went for 6 out of 10.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm going to regret that. I feel like I just said a number and didn't actually decide.
Well, it's locked in.
7, it's locked in. So that was our review of All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us.
By Architects.
Definitely recommend it.
Yeah, 100%. It is still a really good album. Just like I said, a few parts for me personally fell flat. Just going off on something that you said a minute ago as well, where you raised about them having like political sort of things. If you really do want to listen to an Architects album that will smash your nuts in half, that is quite political and is probably their strongest political suit for me, Daybreaker by Architects. Fucking
Is that the black and white one?
That is
Not the black and white one.
It's no, it's the one that's got.
Why do you think about that? The thing with this album for me, this is the first album that we've reviewed that I didn't already like the band of, where I've now really want to go see them live. And I think it's only the second band where I've actually really wanted to go and get the lyric book and read through this.
I was going to say the one with the nest through the middle kind of looking thing, but I wasn't sure if you would get that. So.
No, I wouldn't have known. But yeah, I definitely want to get it's not a set list, sorry, a lyrics book and read through this because I feel like I'm missing a lot. While I was talking about Phantom Fear just then, just looking at the title was making me think of Phantom Pain, which is like a pain that's not actually there. And I was thinking like, what's Phantom Fear mean? And even though it wasn't a jump out song, it's a fear of something that's not there. But is it a fear of getting his cancer back?
Yeah, is it a fear of something that's yet to come?
Yeah, so now I'm like, I can't want to go listen to that song and read the lyrics to it.
Yeah, 100%. There is a lot of like connotations, underlying connotations in a lot of their music, I feel. Particularly their latest stuff because of what they're dealing with. So, definitely worth a listen.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Moving on up, we have the next topic of covers.
Yeah,
the best
yes.
and worst, and whether they are respectful or not.
So, tell us how this came about.
So, our friends on Beatdown Podcast.
Fuck.
Fair enough. Don't hate Beatdown that much, do we?
No, sorry guys. You guys are fine.
Beatdown Podcast. They check them out every Friday on
They do check them out.
YouTube. They're not on for the next 2 Fridays though because Wolves are playing and I always loves Wolves.
Interesting.
It's not the word I've used, but they mentioned they were talking about Avenged Sevenfold and they were talking about covers. They said how it's not respectful to do covers.
I want to know where this thought comes from.
What Craig said was, well, we're old school. Maybe we're just old school. Now, I don't take that. I don't believe that old school is a way. To be honest, but there you go. We'll delve into that, I guess, towards the end. But do you?
Sure.
I mean, do you think it's? Let's fucking let's start now. Do you think it's respectful to do a cover,
Do I think it's respectful or disrespectful? Sorry.
or either,
Well,
or neither as well? If you just think it's impartial.
I think if you're doing it so there must be some, I'm not sure if I've got any on my list that I could point out as an example, but there must be some in which like a band have said, we're really heavily influenced by this artist and this particular song is my favourite song by that artist, so we're going to cover it as a tribute to them dying or to them no longer being in the music business, or like there must be a respectful scenario in which somebody has covered a song, but I can't think of any reason why it would be disrespectful.
Yeah, people seemed... So when this came up, this was a big thing, not just from the Beatdown guys, but people went nuts about when it happened.
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, Avenged Sevenfold covered "Wish
so.
You Were Here" by Pink Floyd, and people were like, "How dare you touch the original?" Now, granted, I'm not that much of a Pink Floyd fan. I don't dislike them. I've just never really listened to them. Okay,
You should.
probably should. Yeah, no, they're one of the biggest bands of all time. But people were like, "Oh yeah, but you shouldn't do "Wish You Were Here" because it's about something personal and stuff." I was like, but they made a song,
Okay, so it's about Sid. So what?
and they love the band. Well, some members from the band love the band, and I can't speak for all of them. But on this Avenged Sevenfold did a deluxe version of the newest album Stage, and on that they covered 6 songs, and they did another original song. They all chose a band each that they wanted to cover. They covered the fucking Beach Boys on it, right? So it's not like it was just all metal kind of thing.
Which Beach Boys song did they?
God only knows. Check it out.
Amazing.
Sevenfold Stage. Deluxe. Now, when this came out, this was the last one they released, I believe, and people just went ape shit. They were like, "Oh, I can't believe I'm disgusted you've done this." Like, dude, they're covering a band they love, and fucking what? So,
I don't understand.
personally, I find it actually specifically respectable to do it.
Can I just ask?
Yeah.
Because you'll be the man that knows.
Go
Have
for
the
it.
band done anything? Have they spoken out about
No.
their efforts doing that?
No.
Good.
Yeah, it's a
I
fucking
don't think
cover. I think, don't you have to get permission from a band to cover them?
Probably, or at least from whoever has the rights to the song now.
Yeah, so
At the very
They
least, then
fucking go.
the record label or somebody like that would have the rights to it. So they would have had to have approached somebody with authority that can say no, and they've said yes.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I think you can maybe cover a song live, and that's it. But anytime you're making money off it, then that's that.
Yeah, because you have to pay royalties and shit.
Yeah.
So
So Pink Floyd were fucking spoken to. I find it respectful. I feel like if you've chosen a band you want to cover, especially at the magnitude of a band like Avenged Sevenfold, if you're choosing a band to cover or a song to cover by a band, then what's disrespectful about that?
yeah, I don't see
It's
the issue.
paying homage to your heroes.
100%, and they would probably be the first kind of band that would be like, well, they're a massive influence on us.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I mean, we'll get to more events later, obviously, it's me, but we get onto another song they covered, Walk by Pantera. Another one Craig said was just, shouldn't be done.
Why?
Fucking Vinnie Paul has played drums with them on stage at the Revolver Golden God Awards
Oh, there
a
you
couple of years
go.
back. And they're on stage, they covered Mouth for War live. Now, if you're trying to tell me that you think it's disrespectful and Vinnie Paul's playing with them, fuck yourself. Because that's just stupid. Try and tell Vinnie Paul that it's just disrespectful and he'll tell you where to fucking put it. It's insane that people would think that. I don't understand.
So, that was how the topic was raised.
Yep.
And we thought, well, we're going to jump straight the fuck on that.
To be fair, I will put actually the topic was on my list of topics to write. I was going to choose that for the new metal one, but I fucked up, and then Rob chose new metal. And when I got back to home that day on the Monday night, I was like, right, that's the next topic, covers. And then that Friday afterwards, they mentioned it. I was like, this is just perfect.
Perfect.
So Beatdown did not provide our topic; they just fueled part of it. Well done, guys.
They just initiated the inevitable.
So I've got a long list of covers. We went for the best and worst, and I actually sucked at finding the worst.
I didn't.
I like a lot of covers. I feel like some of my good are going to be on some of your bad.
We'll see about that. We'll see. So hit me up with, say, 3 good ones.
3 good ones. Right, so we'll go block by block. But one of the best covers, and this is controversial, people hate it, and that is, it's great, Behind Blue Eyes by Limp Bizkit.
I fucking love it.
It's amazing.
Thank
Thank you, I'm
it.
glad. Yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of people would say.
I like The Who, I appreciate The Who.
Yeah, I grew up on The Who.
prefer the Limp Bizkit version.
Yeah, so do I.
It's fucking sue me.
I remember showing my mate Callum, and he was like, this is great. And he thought it was better than Who. And that bit in the middle was like, L-I-M. He's like, they've ruined it. It's fucking shit.
No,
And I was like, okay,
no.
that's probably the worst part of the song, but it's a fucking amazing
So I don't
cover.
even think so. I just think it fits. It does. It fits.
It fits, but it's like, you wouldn't go, oh, that's my favourite part.
No. It's the way that it's sung and like the kind of like echoey acousticness to the guitar in it
Yeah.
as well. So I've seen them. They do it. They fucking play it well live as well. Like if you look back on videos of the Who playing Behind Blue Eyes live, it is mesmerising. But
Yeah.
just
I've never seen it. I'd love to see it live, man. They
Oh,
played Faith
mate.
live. I've seen Faith, but not that one. Another one would be, we've gone through it over already, but we'll cover it quickly.
Yep.
But no pun intended, which is Hurt by Johnny Cash. Originally by Trent Reznor / Nine Inch Nails.
Most people think it's the other way around. I certainly would have done if it weren't for the fact that you had pre-educated me.
There you go.
So there you have it. And a third.
And a third, another fucking fantastic cover. Another Brick in the Wall by Korn with Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
What a fucking fantastic
And
cover.
how fucking disrespectful is that?
Things they compliment though, they said it's the best, it's probably the best Pink Floyd cover they've heard. They didn't say it was respectful though. I'll give them that credit. They didn't say it was disrespectful. Kind of just move on to Avenged with that.
Interesting. So, some of the better ones for me. Let's have a look. I really like Bullet for My Valentine's cover of Welcome Home Sanitarium.
Don't care for it. I love Bullet. I love
Interesting.
Metallica, but I don't really care for
Really
the
interesting. I quite liked it. I thought they did it really, not like insanely well,
Okay.
but that was for me. That was a standout one because it's a fitting band doing like a fitting cover. Like nobody could say that's disrespectful because Bullet were definitely influenced by Metallica.
Oh, absolutely. Of course,
Like
yeah.
nobody can say that that's disrespectful. Fucking try me. What else did I have on here? Tainted Love, Sweet Dreams, and Personal Jesus.
2 out of 3.
Okay, Personal Jesus is not a favourite of yours.
Don't really care for it, no.
Interesting.
I don't like it as a Manson track. Like a Manson cover, but the other two are fucking fantastic. And they're entirely not from what you expect, just 2 pop songs.
No, well, yeah, exactly.
So Eurythmics and the Cell? Soft Cell.
There you go.
They're the originals. Soft
There
Cell,
you
Tainted
go.
Love, and
That was
Eurythmics.
impressive.
Thank you, man.
That was impressive, sir. I will give you
And
that.
yeah, Eurythmics for Sweet Dreams.
So I don't actually have like an extensive list, I must admit. So you better sort of reel off some of yours.
Throw some more your way.
If they're good, bad, just sort of specify beforehand.
So I'm going to go for quite a few goods before I hit the bads, maybe in the middle.
Yep.
And that is originally by Chris Isaac. Wicked Game. I chose the hymn version.
Yeah. I really like it.
Yeah,
I love the original. I do love the original song. It is. Oh, I'm going to get myself into a lot of trouble by saying this, but it is quite possibly one of my more sort of favourite non-metal songs of all time.
Why would you get in trouble for that?
I don't know, just because it's the sort of thing that a lot of people would be like,
Mate, one of my favourite songs is like Man, I Feel Like a Woman by Shania Twain.
well,
Fuck to what they think.
yeah.
Like, can't get over that shit. It's a good fucking song. Any cover it has been, any cover I've heard of Wicked Game has been great.
Yeah.
So,
Still not better than the original for me, personally. Him did really good. Like, Vil Valor does a really good fucking cover of it.
yeah. I don't think, I know I've heard Chris Isaac's version, but not properly, I don't think. But, Whiskey in the Jar by Metallica.
Yep, we've got it down.
I've got it as, it's not originally by Thin Lizzy. They did it before Metallica, but it's originally an old Irish folk song. Don't think it even has an original artist. But what a fucking cracking track.
Yeah, it's alright. I didn't care for the video though, I must admit. Since we brought up videos a couple of episodes ago, I really didn't care for the video, especially right at the end. The most fucking hilarious part is when they're like trying to smash the house up at the end, and there's this bit where like Lars pulls over a lamp, and then he goes to try and put his foot through like a shelf or something like that, and his foot just like slides off the top of it, and he's like, oh shit, I'll try again. And like he really does like try his hardest to put his foot through it, and then he just like loses his shit and like throws half of his body weight through it to put it through, which I've always found quite funny.
Fair enough.
I think they were actually like genuinely pretty wankered
Probably.
when they filmed it, so that kind of probably explains a fair chunk of that. But yes, good song.
Another one, I've already got Tainted Love by Manson here and Sweet Dreams. Now, this one, I'm not sure, it's probably a really bad cover. I like it because it makes me laugh. And that's Oops, I Did It Again by Children of Bodom. Obviously originally by Britney Spears. It's just fucking funny.
I'm going to see if I've got one on here that's just as sort of hilarious as that. Judas Priest did Johnny Be Good.
I saw that, but I've never actually heard it.
It's good. It's alright. I quite like it, but again, it's one of those ones that people probably be like, what the fuck are you doing? The fuck is Mr. Alfred doing?
Kind of keeping in line with that as well is Temptation by Cradle of Filth. Temptation.
Interesting.
I
I've never really known how to feel about that, but Dobbs used to have a thing for it.
kind of like it, yeah.
It's alright.
It's, again, those two songs aren't like fucking great covers, they're just kind of, they're cool. And one's funny, one's
Giggly.
kind of like...
Yeah, they're giggly. Sweet. So, what else have I got? Did you know, so you know post-busted band from Charlie Simpson, Fight Star?
Fight Star, yes. Fear of the Dark.
Yes.
Great cover.
Do you really think?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't like Fightstar.
Man,
They're on my list somewhere, I believe.
I'm shocked at that because I knew that you weren't a big fan of Fightstar. They're alright for me, but I'm not a mad fan of the cover. I'm not a mad fan of the cover. It's too sped up. They speed it up halfway through the song. When the solo kicks in, it's almost like they struggled to play it at the speed that it was designed to be played at. So they were just like, they went from like a relatively normal speed to straight into this. And it's just like, dude, calm the fuck down.
So I'm going to admit something that's probably even worse than the fact I like that cover. I heard this version first. And that might be why I like it. That Fightstar got me to listen to Iron Maiden more. Which is now my favourite Iron Maiden song. You can judge. I'm fine with being judged. This was years ago. It came out on a Kerrang album like 2008.
So that's the outro. I'm not going to be joining you guys next week because I thought we were doing something completely fucking different here. What the hell, man?
Yeah, I heard Fightstar first, man.
Unfucking
Iron Maiden have never been a band that I've gone, I need to listen to more of those. I listened to a Kerrang album covers and I was like, oh, cool. Try this out. Most of them were shit. It was literally a whole album of Maiden covers. So a band did 2 Minutes to Midnight. That was pretty awful. Well, it was alright at the time, but now I wouldn't listen to it. I would listen to Fightstar's version now either, just to clarify. But it's what I heard first and I liked it.
Fair enough. I've never still condemn you to hell.
I never stopped liking it before I stopped listening to it. Therefore, it's in my books. I still like it.
Fair enough. Godsmack and Aerosmith both did Come Together by the Beatles.
Okay, didn't know that.
Smooth Criminal, Alien Anthem.
Yeah, that's on there. But that was I'm not sure if I like it or not.
I like it, but again, that's probably one that's rooted through nostalgia more than anything, I feel. Maybe, anyways. It's one of them, unfortunately. It's just kind of, don't know how to feel about it.
What was the time?
Just gone 10.
Okay.
Hailstorm. Hailstorm did a cover of a Daft Punk song, I believe it is.
Oh, interesting.
Called Get Lucky. If you've ever heard that. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night to get some. We're up all night to get
lucky. Hailstorm did that.
Hailstorm.
Okay, I'm checking that out.
It's surprisingly okay.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not great. Do not go into it with high hopes because it is still very much like, oh, okay then. Alrighty then. What else we got? Deftones did a cover of Jealous Guy. I don't know who sings the original, but it's a cover and I know it.
Okay. Thank you.
No worries, mate. And that brings me on to my weirdest one, and to end my list, and then we'll crack on with some more of yours.
Yep.
A band that I've never heard of called April Divine
Never.
have done a cover of Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
Okay, is it good?
It's not atrocious, actually.
Right, okay.
It's still really... I mean, it has to be sung in quite like a gentle and not very metal kind of way, for lack of a nicer way of saying
it. So
Dead
by April?
April Divine.
April Divine. Right. Strange, yeah.
Very strange. A very strange one to pick, actually, to do like a sort of rocky cover of, but
yeah.
There you have it.
There we do.
And there you go.
Okay, so we'll continue my list.
That reeks, bro.
What? Oh, the bird, sorry.
Yeah, man, that was special.
Haven't fired today, though.
No.
Making improvements to this podcast every week. So, we have Guns N' Roses' cover of Live and Let Die.
Yeah.
Originally by Paul McCartney and Wings, I believe. Yeah, it's a really good cover.
It is.
I prefer the original, though.
Yeah.
I really like that. Also, maybe my Corin got like a thing about that song. Yeah, back in the days of absolutely... yes.
Yep.
Good old days. Now, I'm just reading them off as I wrote them, so we're going to Avenge mode for a minute. So, Avenge Walk by Pantera. I love it. Great.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know what I prefer. I think I really like the Avenged cover. Avenged Sevenfold cover of Paranoid by Black Sabbath is great.
It is really good.
Yeah.
It is really good. I like it.
I haven't mentioned all the covers because we'll be here for a while, but Wish You Were Here we've gone into already.
Yep.
Probably my favourite cover from their covers part of the deluxe album, The Stage, is Retro Vertigo by Mr. Bungle. Now, Mr. Bungle is a band with Mike Patton from Faith No More. It's a lot weirder, it's avant-garde, and it's very strange. But yeah, it's a really good cover. And could not mention the cover of Malaguena Sala Rosa.
Absolutely.
Because the fact that M Shadows spent so fucking long, and we'll get onto this in the future, but oh god, it's special. Right.
Just training and sheer commitment, man.
He's got a Mexican friend or a Spanish-speaking friend, should I say, because I don't actually know his nationality, who helped him for hours every day for quite a few weeks. And
wasn't it like 7 or 8 weeks that he practiced it for like a good few hours every single day?
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. Yeah, it may have had like a day off in the week, but still. And it's cover fully in Spanish, and it sounds fucking fantastic.
He does it fucking brilliantly.
That fucking high note he holds as well.
It's just epic,
dude.
Like the first time I heard it, I was just like, mate, and people are like fucking Despacito everywhere, and it's like, no, mate, this is the shit you should be listening to if you want to go down that route.
So I'm going to throw in my shit ones now. Go from the best to shit. So
always end on a shit note.
No, I've still got a few more good ones afterwards.
Oh, banging.
Right, end on shit notes in the middle. But so I tried to cover all covers were from metal.
Yeah.
Artists.
Yeah.
I've thrown one in that is metal because I came across it, and that is the cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Miley Cyrus. Throwing it in as a wild card, it's fucking disgusting. That's all I need to say about that. And the worst cover I could think of, the only one that came to mind before I saw this Miley Cyrus video, is the abomination of "Bring Me the Horizon's" cover of "Eyeless" by Slipknot.
Oh god, I forgot that shit existed.
Horrific.
Oh my god.
I need to make a joke. That would be really bad. Then I'll tell the joke after the podcast. It's awful. Don't do it. That's all I've got to say. Back onto the good ones. We have Alien Ant Farm, as mentioned. Guns N' Roses, "Knocking on Heaven's Door," originally by Bob Dylan. Fucking fantastic cover.
It is. I prefer it.
Yeah, definitely. Disturbed, "The Land of Confusion."
Amazing.
Don't know how you love that.
I don't know how I skipped over that either. Definitely meant to be on the list. It's fucking incredible.
Yep, and
absolutely
following on by "The Sound of Silence," also great.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Nailed. Absolutely nailed. Land of Confusion for me is also very interesting because that's kind of what got me into Disturbed.
Yeah. And
I do love Genesis though.
I'm going to finish with that one.
The version of that song is really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
And the video is strong.
But Disturbed nail it, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, they bring it to a different level entirely.
Fear Factory, they covered "Cars" by Gary Newman.
Interesting.
It sounds...
I did not know that.
Yeah, I remember hearing it. I kind of grew up on Gary Newman because my mum's a big fan of Gary Newman.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard it.
He's the one that sings "Cars," right?
Yes, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. So
straight over my head.
So the cover, I played it not knowing it's Fear Factory.
Right. Okay.
I didn't know it wasn't Fear Factory. The one aspect I don't like about it, it sounds perfect. It sounds just like Gary Newman. That's the problem.
So it's a cover done to like
it's replicated.
Expectations. Yeah.
Yeah. If you do a cover, I kind of want to hear your version of it, but maybe I wouldn't like their version because I'm not massive on Fear Factory. But yeah, it was great.
So they do it justice, just not what you would expect.
Yeah, because it's the same.
And I spent so long trying to think, is Gary Newman the guy that sings "Cars" that I didn't realise we were talking about Cars?
Yeah, we're talking about Cars.
Smashing.
Also sings "Our Friends Electric." Those are the only two songs I can name off the top of my head.
Don't even know that all.
"Sail" by Devil Driver, originally by AWOL Nation.
Interesting.
Good song.
Didn't know that.
Really like the original, actually. It's not rock.
Did not know that they did a cover of that.
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's really quite good. A couple of Five Finger Death Punch ones. There's "Fight Star" with Fear of the Dark. "House of the Rising Sun" by Five Finger Death Punch is fucking fantastic.
Okay. That's like an old school kind of like choir type song, isn't it? Like "House of the Rising Sun"?
No, it's kind of rock and roll, I think.
Really?
There is a house in New Orleans to come.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I can't pinpoint where that's actually from.
I couldn't tell the band who did it originally, so I didn't write it down. Also, "Bad Company" by Five Finger Death Punch, which is a cover of a band called Bad Company. I think the song wasn't originally called Bad Company.
Alrighty.
So Bad Company did a song, Five Finger covered it and called it Bad Company. Could be wrong on that, but the band's definitely called Bad Company.
Okay. Interesting.
I remember looking down and set this, it was like, Bad Company cover. I was like, really? What? And finishing off with just a fantastic cover of "Holy Diver"
Oh, yes.
by Killswitch, which, controversial, is fucking definitely better than the Dio version.
Ooh.
Entirely better.
I'm not going to lie, there are so many people out there that are probably going like, fuck off right now.
Oh, it's Peter Gurley. Peter Griffin.
there's a lot of people that are probably out there like planning your death already for saying that. But
Very possible.
I'm very much down the middle. Like if somebody puts the Kill Switch version on, I'll listen to it. If somebody puts the Dio version on, I'll fucking listen to it.
Okay, that's fair. I would never turn Dio off.
No, but I'll never turn Kill Switch off either.
No, I
And
wouldn't.
we fucking nailed it at the party the other day. I don't care what anyone says. We fucking nailed My Curse.
Yes.
And it was beautiful.
And Unholy Confessions, we regret that too. So that culminates the cover.
Yes, yeah. Answering the question, is it disrespectful?
No.
Fuck no.
No, it's not.
No way.
Disrespectful in my opinion.
100%. I certainly feel like you can do it and be neither. I don't really feel like you can do it and be disrespectful. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble straight away.
So we've ended at least 20 minutes earlier than we should have.
Is it time?
Do we think so?
No, I mean, I do.
I mean, it's bonus round! So, tomorrow's podcast will be discussed in more detail shortly. But one of those things, we asked you to vote and do stuff. So, there's still another day to vote, except for the first match, because we're going to do that now, because we've still got at least 20 minutes of this podcast. So, match number 1 from round 2, round 2, is Machine Head versus Black Sabbath. And this week we are doing, or this round of matchups, we are doing two topics per band.
Madness.
How it's going to work is,
madness.
if we agree on the first one, the winner of the topic, we go on to the next one. If we disagree on the first one, we still go on to the next one. Either way, unless we agree on both.
So how are we going to do this? Are we just going to remember which ones we didn't agree on and wait for the fan vote?
Yeah.
Excellent. I like it.
So, Machine Head versus Black Sabbath.
Who's picking?
Please do the honours, sir. You can pick one, I'll pick one. Job done.
Hey, I like it. So, remind me. Machine Head and Black Sabbath.
Machine Head and Black Sabbath will be fighting it out.
Through the medium of showmanship
Showmanship.
and
Drummer.
Oh, damn.
Interesting. So, we will do them separately. We'll start off with showmanship.
Showmanship. Machine Head. Sabbath. Again, it's quite difficult because I've never had the pleasure of seeing Sabbath live.
Yes, I have.
You've seen both.
I've seen both.
Perhaps
Multiple times.
you should maybe take the con on this one.
So with showmanship with Machine Head first because they're the first band
Yep.
picked. Yeah, pretty fucking fantastic on stage. Now we can't ignore the issue they've had with firing previous members or letting go other members or them choosing to leave, and then with the most recent one writing a whole song dedicated to fuck you to that person. Pretty deep, but overall the showmanship seems to be pretty good. They seem to be quite bonded. Their new guy is rather good with the guys. The main Dave McLean and Rob Flynn, they're pretty much like brothers, so it's very close to each other. Now, we're probably not going to go full 5 minutes on these topics because we don't know much about them.
No.
So to say.
No.
So the showmanship for Machine Head, I'd say, is high.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to Black Sabbath, while you don't see the showmanship on stage as much because they're older guys, they are fucking one.
Yeah, they are like...
When you take out the drummer. Because they sacked him off. And said, the big reunion of this Black Sabbath that obviously have just stopped, it was all four of them at the press conference, it was going to be a big thing, and then they just said no to the drummer. And there was a whole contract issues and he never got to join again.
Oh.
So, other than him, I would say it's a stronger fit than Machine Head.
Okay.
And that is basically what I'm basing my vote on. So
for showmanship, you've got Sabbath.
I've got Sabbath.
I can only really comment on Machine Head. And I agree. They do bring a lot to the stage. However, you can tell that Sabbath have got that legacy kind of, like, feared gods kind of feel about them. And if I saw them play live, they wouldn't need to necessarily jump around and be crazy.
No.
They don't. They're past that now. They don't
Yeah.
need that.
I mean, that tiptoes on a live show anyway, but I get what you mean. The showmanship, how they're bonded
Yeah.
as one. I feel like also in the writing process, I feel like the members of Black Sabbath write.
Yeah.
I feel with Machine Head, Rob writes.
Writes pretty much everything.
I know Dave writes a lot, but it doesn't as much feel like it. To be honest, I feel like there's a band, and then there's some key members.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got Black Sabbath.
I think I'm going to have to agree with
Cool.
Sabbath. So that brings us on to drummer.
Drummer. So we have Mr. Ward from Black Sabbath, and the guy from Machine Head. Journalism. Now, starting on Machine Head again. His drumming is very, very good.
Insane.
I think he's one of the longest standing members of Machine Head. I don't think he founded Machine Head. I think he's just one. I think he's been there since the early days. Maybe a couple of albums in, but I could be wrong, of course.
Still the bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah, he's a fucking fantastic drummer. His drum beats on albums like The Blackening or Unto the Locust are intense as fuck. And Bloodstone Diamonds as well.
Aesthetics of Hate.
Yeah. That's a completely different song. But
Sick, either way.
Yeah,
Amazing stuff. Sabbath. Kind of good for what it's good for.
yeah, but you're not going to go Sabbath fucking...
Their drummer's amazing.
I mean...
You're not, really, are you? You're not.
I'm not sure this is because of name basis, because of how Geezer Butler's name is known. But when you think of Black Sabbath and you think of the bassist's name... if we think of a band and you think of the bassist's name first, like before the drummer's not that notable. Now, don't get me wrong, in some bands like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Flea is the main known person. Ask anyone to name a band member, it's going to be Flea.
Yeah.
I don't think many people go Anthony Kiwi.
Anthony Kiwi.
Yeah, so that's just my opinion. But if you're going... And the fact that you fire a drummer because he couldn't keep up, and although the drummers of the past are mentioned, and after him as well, so the touring drummers, you don't really count the touring drummers. They had to get someone in to fill up, and on that basis alone, Machine Head.
Yeah, 100%.
Fan vote.
Shit. Right, we've got our first one.
If you could please bring it up.
Well, do we have it yet?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So they've been voting for the last 2 weeks.
Smashing.
So the fan vote will determine this, and Rob shall read it out in a moment.
I've just got to get past my shitty internet connection. Seriously? Oh my god. I should have been more prepared for this.
That's fine. Just build up the tension. Pin post.
Pinned.
Oh, it's not up there. Sorry, the video showed it above it now. They've changed it. So yeah. Scroll down.
Scroll down.
Scroll down. So, Machine Head. Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath went through on showmanship. Machine Head goes through on drummer. It's the fan vote that puts a person through. And it is...
Black Sabbath 5, Machine Head 4.
Oh, okay. Black Sabbath goes through.
Oh, damn.
5-4. Nice. What is the time?
20 past.
We have time for one more.
We do have time for one more. Let's just fucking do it, mate.
Oh, we have...
Next up, we have...
Avenged Sevenfold versus Guns N' Roses.
Yes, we fucking do. Oh, my damn.
Cool.
I'm getting a phone call and that's really bad timing.
Avenged Sevenfold versus Guns N' Roses on the medium of...
Vocalist.
Vocalist, okay.
Shit.
Vocalist and best album.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, before we go into best album, let's determine what the best album is, because we need to argue the same one.
Okay, so best Avenged album.
But it has to be more mainstream, so I'm not going for Waking the Fallen, which is my favourite. I'm going for Self-Titled.
Yeah.
Okay, Self-Titled versus...
That would probably be the most universally accepted as a favourite.
Versus Appetite for Destruction. I'm not prepared for this.
We need to do vocalist first.
Yes, vocalist. So we have M Shadows, who is one of the... Okay, I know I'm biased, but he's one of the best vocalists in metal right now. He has the... This is where I feel like I'm actually trying to fucking push for a win, but I'm being non-biased. He has the vocal range and has displayed this across his albums, from screaming and metalcore to singing in classic metal, Of a Hail to the King, to progressive rock of the stage, to just pure metal in City of Evil and the Self-Titled. He has the vocal range. He's improved every single year. His vocals on the stage are incredible, and that's M Shadows for me.
Okay, M Shadows for me. Agree totally with the range and stuff. Better than Axl Rose. Oh, dude, I don't.
But okay, thank fuck, we are doing this as we did in the previous ones. Them as a person as well. We do it with Phil Anselmo.
This is true, and I think we can definitely agree M Shadows wins
Is
out
a
on that
fucking
front
diamond.
straight away.
And Axl Rose, although getting better now,
yeah,
has been a cunt.
it's taken him what, like fucking 35 years or whatever to
And Slash to
realise.
come back for him to really sort of shit out.
Yeah,
Whereas
it's just not cool.
They went to that time Reading in like 2007 and they came on stage an hour and a half late and then played like 4 songs and left. So
Hilarious.
that's not what a good vocalist does. That's you being up your own fucking arsehole. Now don't get me wrong, Avenged have cancelled tours in the past, but that's not down to the vocalist. That's been down to an overall thing.
So, I am going to say then that... Well, what about ability, though, in terms of like Axl Rose's ability to sing and his
Axl Rose
aura as a vocalist?
Yep, his stage presence is great, but I'd say it's the same for both of them. Axl Rose, in his type of vocals, is one of the best, and he's great. He doesn't have the
range to
variation, of
Okay.
vocal styles.
Okay.
I'm voting M Shadows.
Of course you are. I think I'm going to agree with you.
Okay.
Purely because Axl Rose is that much of a twat, or has been.
Yeah.
And I agree. He doesn't... You couldn't put him in any other band and he wouldn't shine as much as M Shadows has the ability to.
Yeah.
It would depend on what kind of band M Shadows was popped in, obviously, but like if we were playing a random game of managers or something like that, I would bet more money on M Shadows being the type of person that I would rather have on my like reserves, because I could plug him into a lot more bands than I could plug Axl Rose into.
Yeah, I agree.
On that basis, I'm gonna say M Shadows.
Cool. I'm being unbiased. I am. And Axl is a great vocalist. If he wasn't such a cunt, I would be a lot more torn. Mm-hmm. And that's the truth.
Yeah, no.
So, Appetite of Destruction versus the self-titled album of Avenged Sevenfold. Starting with Avenged Sevenfold. This album is kind of similar to Vocalist. This album has a lot more range. Every song is different. You got like the church chimes of the intro of Critical Acclaim into the heaviness of Almost Easy, into the hip-hop influenced Scream. You have the Beast of Afterlife into the country track of Gunslinger. You then follow on to Brompton Cocktail. No, Unbound, which is kind of like a bit of a wackier track, into Brompton Cocktail, which is like a more mellow but hard rock with a powerful lyric tone. Then you go into the Symphonist of Lost, where they actually use a voice auto-tune, which they did on the one track, so I want to try it out. I think it sounds great. Into the fucking disgusting wackiness of Necrophilia and A Little Piece of Heaven, and then closing off with one of the softest tracks, if not the softest track they've ever released, in Dear God.
And it's fucking beautiful.
The whole album is beautiful, it's fucking versatile, and I think it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, 100% agree. Appetite
for Destruction. It's one of the biggest one of the biggest rock albums in the world, and has influenced more people than we know.
Yep.
While it's sameier in comparison to Avenged Sevenfold,
yep,
the album, its range and ability it's up there. I don't really have much more to say. Have you got anything more to say on that?
Not really, other than just that what I'll agree is kind of samey at that point in time. I think that served them well.
Right. Yeah.
It was them. It was very them. And I would say the same thing about the self-titled as well. That's very Avenged.
Yeah, that's why they named it that. They were like, this is us. No further question. It kills me to say it, but I would be unbiased if I didn't choose it. It's got to be Appetite for Destruction.
Okay. Unfortunately, so do I. Mm-hmm. And that's not to say that self-titled isn't a fucking brilliant album, because it is, man.
Not many albums in this entire list can face Appetite for Destruction and win.
And yeah,
there's no way
I was not one of them.
Couldn't choose it.
So
for the second time out of 2 matches, this both has gone again to
Unfucking believable.
the single jig. Can I take this one?
Yes.
With 7-3 votes, Avenged Sevenfold go through.
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
That's fair enough.
Not many bands could stand up to Guns N' Roses and,
No.
and beat. But I do believe Avenged are worthy.
Yep. Do we have time for one final?
I'm going to say no because we want to do our
We hit
outro.
our past.
Near enough. We've got 5
Cool.
minutes.
So that was a little taster for what's happening tomorrow. That was
Yes.
an emotional fucking roller coaster.
And that was a bit of a hairy second round.
And if Mr. Cooling dare says again that I'm biased on that, I pained to vote for Guns and that. And I genuinely considered Axl Rose if he wasn't a cunt. There you go. So in tomorrow's
I
podcast,
almost wasn't biased this time.
I wasn't biased this time. In tomorrow's podcast, because this one was to make up for last week. In tomorrow's podcast, we are going through the topic. So a little while ago, we decided to ask you guys to help topics, and we got a loyal fan of ours, Sophie Ray, to give us a topic. Now, I wasn't sure whether to go through with it, but we're doing it because we asked for it, and you provided what you want.
Yep, 100%, and I can't fucking wait.
It's going to be quite hilarious. It's going to be the topic of shag, marry, and kill. 3 members from 3 bands, or the same band, or whatever, are going to be thrown at us. We've got some prepared, but we're also asking you guys to comment during the podcast. That would be great, and we'll do it pretty much on the spot unless we're doing our review. So, shag a member, marry a member, kill a member. Most of them are men, which is just awful. But it should be very interesting and pretty fucking funny.
I'm looking forward to finding out who you would kill.
Yes, well, yes.
And shag.
Yes.
And both.
And marry. Not both.
Okay.
Need a piece of heaven. Back in the room.
Hey.
And we will also be doing a cover of Forever by Code Orange.
That's not a cover. We will be reviewing. We're not covering them.
That's a good point.
Just
Drilled into
swearing
my
it
head.
out there, I'm not playing drums or singing or screaming or anything
No.
on this podcast.
I'll do the triangle.
Ding! But yes,
We'll be reviewing.
because Code Orange are one of those bands that we hear so much about and neither of us know a damn fucking
I'm
thing
seeing
about.
them live next month. Well, this month with Trivium.
Well, there you have it. So this will be good. This will be a nice initiation into that.
Absolutely.
Should be really fucking awesome, guys.
Yeah, I'm very interested. Also, we'll continue with a few more matchups of the tournament.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
sure how many to do because they can do the first round.
basically
We did
winging
5 minutes
Yeah.
on each one, whereas these ones will be quicker because there's 2 topics. Keep voting for the ones that aren't Avenged Sevenfold or Guns N' Roses or Black Sabbath or Machine Head. And we will see you tomorrow. And thank you again, Architects, for your interview.